You know, when you picture the ancient city of Ephesus, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's those magnificent, sprawling Roman ruins, right? Well, that's totally fair, but it's really only half the story. Today, we're going to look at the two very different lives of this incredible city, its beginnings as a major Greek city-state, a polis, and how it was transformed into a massive Roman metropolis.
And hey, don't just take my word for how huge Roman Ephesus was. The ancient geographer Strabo, who was writing when the city was at its absolute peak, said it was second in importance and size only to Rome itself. I mean, think about that. This wasn't some quiet provincial town. It was the buzzing, powerful heart of the Roman Empire's wealthiest province.
So that brings us to the big question. How did it get to be that powerful? Was it always this giant imperial capital? The answer is a definite no. Not even close, actually. And the story of how it changed is really the story of how one great civilization builds on the foundations of another.
To really get a handle on Roman Ephesus, we've got to turn back the clock. We're going way back, long before the Roman legions ever showed up, to explore its identity as a proud and powerful Greek city.
The city's early life was, well, one of constant motion. After Ionian Greeks first settled the area, the legendary king Croesus, the richest Croesus guy, literally moved the entire population to get them closer to a very special place. Then later, one of Alexander the Great's top generals, Lysimachus, moved it again, laying it out on that classic organized Greek grid plan that would shape it for centuries to come.
So what was that special place? It was the absolute center of the Greek city's universe, the Temple of Artemis. And listen, this wasn't just any temple. It was one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. It was the religious, the cultural, and even the economic engine for the entire region. Everything revolved around it.
So, life in this Hellenistic Ephesus was good. It was a leader among the Greek cities of Ionia, a bustling port, a center for philosophy, home to big thinkers like Heraclitus. And get this, the Temple of Artemis was so secure, it basically functioned as an international bank. With a population of around 50,000, it was a major regional power, for sure, but its focus was very much on the Greek world.
And then, boom, everything changed. A single turning point arrived that would completely alter the city's destiny and put it on a path to becoming a true global superpower. The way it happened wasn't through some bloody conquest. In 1333 BCE, the last king of Pergamum did something pretty wild. In his will, he left his entire kingdom, including Ephesus, to the Roman Republic. Just like that, Ephesus was under new management. But this was only the beginning.
For about a century after coming under Roman rule, Ephesus was just another city. The real explosion, the true catalyst, came when the very first Roman emperor, Augustus, made a massive strategic decision. He stripped the capital status from a rival city and gave it to Ephesus, making it the administrative hub for all of Asia Minor. That single act lit the fuse.
And that decision kicked off an absolutely unprecedented golden age. You see, Rome didn't just rule Ephesus, it remade it in its own image, transforming it from a Greek town into a true world city.
The most fundamental shift was its whole identity. It went from being a polis, a Greek city-state focused on its own region, to a metropolis, the capital city serving a vast and incredibly wealthy imperial province. Its entire reason for being had changed.
And the result of that status change? A population explosion. The city quintupled in size, growing from about 50,000 to, get this, a staggering 250,000 people. 250,000. That made Ephesus one of the largest, most cosmopolitan cities on the planet, second only to giants like Rome and Alexandria. You can really see how deep the changes went when you look at the politics. Back in Greek times, power was pretty local, a city council, an assembly of citizens, but under Rome, the top dog was the Roman proconsul, the governor, who lived right there in the city. Sure, the old Greek council still existed, but they were now working under Roman oversight. And your primary loyalty? It wasn't to Ephesus anymore. It was to the emperor, all the way back in Rome.
And Rome's power was literally written in stone and marble. A massive building boom completely changed the city's face. You had grand new structures going up, like the iconic Celsus Library and the Temple of Hadrian. They built essential Roman infrastructure like aqueducts and huge public baths. And the old Greek theater, they expanded it into a colossal venue for 25,000 people, ready for those grand Roman-style spectacles.
A brand new cultural force also showed up, the imperial cult. This was basically the state-sponsored worship of Roman emperors as gods. For a city like Ephesus, this was a huge political tool. It was a way to prove your loyalty and compete with other cities for the emperor's favor and his money. So they started building all these new temples dedicated to the emperors, a practice you never would have seen in the Greek era.
So in the end, we're not talking about one city just replacing another. What we're really looking at is this fascinating fusion, a blend of two powerful cultures that created a totally unique legacy.
Let's just sum it all up. You can see the clear shift from a Greek polis to an imperial metropolis. The population just skyrockets. The city's focal point moves from the ancient temple of Artemis to all these new Roman civic and imperial monuments. And the culture itself evolves from purely Hellenistic into a dynamic Greco-Roman hybrid.
And this right here, this is the most important takeaway. The Romans didn't just flatten the Greek city and start over. No, they built their grand new metropolis directly on top of the Hellenistic grid plan laid out centuries before. So what we see at Ephesus today is that amazing blend. It's got the organized soul of a Greek city dressed in the magnificent, monumental body of a Roman capital.
It leaves you with a really fascinating thought, doesn't it? When we look at any great city, ancient or modern, how much of its success, its character, its greatness, is owed not just to its golden age, but to the foundations, both the seen and the unseen, that were laid long, long before.